Welcome back to the vlog, guys. Welcome back. It's Mark at Exotic Car Play Place. Today, I want to welcome you guys. If you are a car person, you enjoy driving your car, meeting great people, enjoying the whole experience, remember, life's too short to drive boring cars. So definitely you have to get in on a rally like the one on the decals behind me here. So let's really get down to what the costs are to go out on a rally like this. This was a 2-day rally, and it took an extra day to get to the city of departure because it was about 300 kilometers away from where I live. So I'm going to share with you some of the costs that you can expect and some of the issues that you can expect when you take your car to the rally. Now again, under no circumstances is this a bad. This is just something to be prepared for. As a matter of fact, again, as I said, rallies are a great way for you to enjoy your car and meet great people. So the first thing that I experienced was gas consumption. So this is the 5-liter V10, not great on gas. It gets about 400 kilometers to a tank of fuel. And because I put on about 1,600 kilometers round trip, that was 4 tanks of gas. So 4 tanks of gas in this beast is going to add up to close to $400. Premium fuel, you're going to find the highest grade of fuel for this thing. That's $400. So another cost that you're going to incur is hotel rooms. Now most of these rallies cover at least one night of hotel. For example, Royal Rally here covered the one night, Saturday night, because it was a Saturday-Sunday event. Saturday night was covered. That's all good. However, if you're traveling from remote, and actually a lot of people travel from other provinces, states, even other countries in some cases to participate in these rallies, and as a result you have to wind up paying other prices for hotel rooms, and that can really add up. So as an example, I had to come up to Calgary, which was the city of departure in this case. It cost me an extra about $200 for hotel room for Friday night. And now on top of the hotel room, so we were at $400 plus hotel room, we're at about $600. Don't forget these little products. What is this? We have a rag, we have glass cleaner, but you need more. The reality is you need a lot more products than this. This is just an example of some of the things after you do a rally like this, your car is going to be filthy. You're going to have bugs, you're going to have road tar, you're going to have grime, you might have some other issues. You've got to clean out the interior, maybe a little armor all, polish those wheels up, you might need engine degreaser, you might need wheel cleaner. You might as well count another $50 for cleaning products. So when you're on these rallies, a lot of times you're following really powerful supercars, and they have really wide tires. And when you get behind these kind of cars, they spit a lot of big gravel and rocks. And so you're at highway speeds, they're spitting a lot of rocks. There's a lot of potential for paint getting damaged from rocks that are flying, or your windshield from getting damaged from rocks from flying. But for example, I'll give you a look here. Here's an example of a situation where paint can take a hit. Here's another one back here. You've got rock chips. You know, you get a rock chip all over the place. That one was kind of from gravel road. But more importantly, you can actually take damage on the windshield. If you haven't protected your glass, damage like this, for example, we have a crack here. Well, a crack really caused by this chip here, which came off of the wheels of a vehicle when we were driving on the rally. Now it's all part and parcel, so it's irrelevant. It's all part of the experience. But the point of the matter is you're going to take damage. And now because that damage, that window is cracked, because that car has heads-up display, it's a special windshield. If it was a standard windshield, you'd be fine. But this windshield is about $1,200. And because it's $1,200, you tack that on to the $600 other incidentals, so that becomes $1,800 so far, all in. We won't talk about rock chips. Let's just assume they're pretty minor. A little touch-up paint, you're good to go. Now, other ways you can protect your paint is like this paint protection film right here. You'll notice this is a half hood, or almost a half hood. It's about a third hood. And that does a great job of keeping the rocks down. So if you're getting pelted by rocks that are flying at you at high speed, you know, highway speeds.
Filming you or them?
Front. It goes off and there's no issue. You'll never see it. You'll never even know the rocks hit you. This is highly recommended. So if you don't pay for the if you don't want to pay for the rock chips and damage repair later, I would highly recommend using an Expel or 3M product or something along those lines that can protect you from rock damage on the hood. Now on the windshield, on the other hand, because I don't have a protection on here, now I have to buy a new windshield. There are protection products, for example, like Clearplex, and there's other products now that can do a great job of deflecting a lot of those rocks off the windshield and protecting your windshield. But either way, so now we're at $600 plus the windshield, we're at $1,800 so far. Now another thing to consider is wear and tear generally. We won't quantify, I don't know how you quantify wear and tear on things like clutches and engine wear. I mean, it is what it is. It's a car, it's gonna wear out anyway. Whether you're driving this day to day to work or whether you're driving this on a rally, they're both subjected to wear and tear. So we won't count that for anything. However, there are obvious things, tires and brakes. And I'll give you an example. So we had these tires, had about 40-50% left on them when we set off on the rally. But the thing is, of course, we ended up hitting a racetrack and we did some spirited driving through some really windy roads. And as a result, that 40-50% tread left before we left ended up looking more like this, where you have like this, where you actually have cupping and wear and tear. And on the inside edge of that tire, it's pretty much worn right to the treads. As a matter of fact, if you look at the other side, this side here is even better, where you can actually see some of the treads coming through here, barely starting to pop through. So that there suggests new tires are imminent. So because new tires are imminent, I know these tires, because they're run flat high performance, I would say Pilot Sport run flats, they're not cheap. And so I would say those tires, I think, were about $400 a piece. Maybe $350, $400 a piece. Let's say $350, that's $700. Now the $700 on top of the $1,800 were $2,500 on top of the cost of the rally itself. Now we can even add in one more for good measure, is if you're driving these cars, and this was a relatively short rally, but there are rallies that cover a long distance. And if you're on one of those rallies that covers even more distance than this, you might as well even count possibly doing an oil change. And if you take the car to the dealer, you can expect the dealer to charge you somewhere around that $250. So if you add that on the total, now you're at a grand total of, oh, you're probably close to $3,000. Now I know with all that said, it sounds like I'm probably complaining, but I'm not. Because why? Because this is like an experience of a lifetime, essentially. People pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 maybe to spend a week on the beach in Mexico. Sure, they lap up the sun and they justify that by saying, I need a good vacation, I need some time away, and it's worth $4,000 to spend some time in the sun with me and the wife or the kid or the girlfriend, the boyfriend, whatever it is. That's fine. This is no different. If you're a car person, there's nothing better than joining a rally. The rallies are the real experience. And so if you really think spending $2,000, $3,000 on top of the rally entrance fee is too much money, well, in some cases it might be. But you know what? For the most part, these are experiences you will never get anywhere else. You won't experience this by sitting on your TV. You won't experience this even by reading a book or by watching others. You'll experience this by doing it yourself. And I met such great people on this rally. I am so much more enriched for it. Some great folks. I met actually some other YouTubers on the rally, as well as just some great folks with good attitudes, and a lot of fun and frivolity was to be had. So really a ton of fun, and there's no way you can replace this by watching it or reading it. You have to experience it. So that's why life is way too short to drive boring cars and not to experience these kind of events yourself. So again, as always, guys, one thing, please subscribe to the channel. You're gonna love it. There's gonna be a lot of great vlogs. And by the way, you wanna see what happened on this experience of Royal Rally here that I had this week, you better check it out. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, because you're gonna see a lot of great content on this rally and me in the wonderful M5. Thanks again for coming back, everybody. I hope to see you in the next one. See you then. Bye-bye.